Breaking news overnight, Trump slaps tariffs on Canada, Mexico, China, risking higher prices for U.S. consumers. Take a look at the latest headlines with me. Trump warns Americans that tariffs may cause pain. Also, the coming weeks will be difficult. Mexico, Canada respond to Trump's tariffs. But take a look at this coming out this morning just 3 hours ago. Canada announces retaliatory tariffs on longtime ally, the United States. I'm going to be sharing with you the video footage so that way you can see it for yourself as we're hearing that the trade wars have begun. Tariffs left and right against the United States, against China, Canada, Mexico, and we are hearing that Trump has approved these, yet now we are seeing tariffs being hit back against the United States, and so now we are seeing the trade wars begin, tariffs being slapped on different nations left and right. So let me go ahead and get you caught up on the latest so that way you can see exactly what is going on. Do me a favor, if you haven't done so yet, hit that like button, subscribe to stay up to date. It's totally free, and let's go ahead and take a look at some of this. Now first, let's go ahead and start off with Truth Social looking directly at what Trump had to say here. Now you can see this says the tariff lobby headed by the globalists and always wrong. Wall Street Journal is working hard to justify countries like Canada, Mexico, China, and too many others to name continue the decade-long rip-off of America, both with regards to trade, crime, and poisonous drugs that are allowed to so freely flow into America. Those days are over. The USA has major deficits with Canada, Mexico, and China, and almost all countries. Owes $36 trillion, and we're not going to be the stupid country any longer. Make your products in the USA, and there are no tariffs. Why should the United States lose trillions of dollars in subsidizing other countries? And why should these other countries pay a small fraction of the cost of what the USA citizens pay for drug and pharmaceuticals? As an example, this will be the golden age of America. Will there be some pain? Yes, maybe, and maybe not. But we will make America great again, and it will all be worth the price that must be paid. We are a country that is now being run with common sense, and the results will be spectacular. And you can see this coming out from Donald Trump. Now, here's another one that came out 2 hours ago as well. So this one came out 2 hours ago. Here's another one. It says, we pay hundreds of billions of dollars to subsidize Canada. Why? There is no reason. We don't need anything that they have. We have unlimited energy, should make our own cars, and have more lumber than we can ever use. Without this massive subsidy, Canada ceases to exist as a viable country. Harsh but true. Therefore, Canada should become our cherished 51st state. Donald Trump again suggesting Canada could become a U.S. state. Much lower taxes and far better military protection for the people of Canada, and no tariffs, says Donald Trump. And also, let's take a look at this clip here, and then I'm going to share with you the video footage. But before we play Donald Trump's, let me show you the reaction that came out from Justin Trudeau of Canada. Take a look at this. I'm going to play for you the longer clip here in just a second, but let's go ahead and take a look at this short clip, and then I'll play for you the full thing so you can see exactly what it was that he had to say.
Tonight, I am announcing Canada will be responding to the U.S. trade action with 25% tariffs against $155 billion worth of American goods. This will include immediate tariffs on $30 billion worth of goods as of Tuesday, followed by further tariffs on $125 billion worth of American products in 21 days' time to allow Canadian companies and supply chains to seek to find alternatives. Our response will also be far-reaching and include everyday items such as American beer, wine, and bourbon, fruits and fruit juices, including orange juice, along with vegetables, perfume, clothing, and shoes. It'll include major consumer products like household appliances, furniture, and sports equipment, and materials like lumber and plastics, along with much, much more. And as part of our response, we are considering, with the provinces and territories, several non-tariff measures, including some relating to critical minerals, energy, procurement, and other partnerships. We will stand strong for Canada. We will stand strong to ensure our countries continue to be the best neighbors in the world. I want to speak directly to Americans, our closest friends and neighbors. This is a choice that, yes, will harm Canadians, but beyond that, it will have real consequences for you, the American people. As I have consistently said, tariffs against Canada will put your jobs at risk, potentially shutting down American auto assembly plants and other manufacturing facilities. They will raise costs for you, including food at the grocery stores and gas at the pump. They will impede your access to an affordable supply of vital goods crucial for U.S. security, such as nickel, potash, uranium, steel, and aluminum. They will violate the free trade agreement that the President and I, along with our Mexican partner, negotiated and signed a few years ago. Together, we've built the most successful economic, military, and security partnership the world has ever seen. A relationship that has been the envy of the world. Yes, we've had our differences in the past, but we've always found a way to get past them. As I've said before, if President Trump wants to usher in a new golden age for the United States, the better path is to partner with Canada, not to punish us.
There you have it, you guys. So that was Justin Trudeau. And that was just, I'm not exactly sure on the timing on this. This says 12 hours ago. So I'm guessing that that came out yesterday, February the 1st, after the announcement of the tariffs. They responded back and said, hey, we're going to hit you back with this. Justin Trudeau saying we should work together, not against each other. Yet at the same time, we heard that there was a conversation between him and Donald Trump said, hey, you guys are ripping us off to the tunes of over billions every year, and we need to fix this. And Trudeau said, well, hey, no, you can't do that to us, because if you do, we will cease to exist. And then Donald Trump said, well, then maybe you should figure out how to run your country without ripping us off. And if you can't figure that out, well, then maybe you could become a 51st state of the United States. And we actually just saw that reiterated again, as I shared with you on True Social just a couple of hours ago. Take a look. Yet again, Donald Trump doubling down. 2 hours ago, Donald Trump says Canada should become a 51st state. Much lower taxes, far better military protection for the people of Canada, and no tariffs. As he is doubling down, and he is... looks like he's slapping these tariffs on. Now let's take a look at what he had to say. This came out 16 hours ago.
My favorite word, tariff. And one of the things I'm going to do, I'll give you this as a little insight. I just announced it in Pittsburgh. I didn't think it's become a very big story already. So we're going to tell Mexico, you're killing tremendous numbers of our people by allowing China to send their fentanyl through your system and through your country. And we're going to give them a little period of time, but we don't want drugs coming across our border or any border. And whether it's Mexico or Canada or wherever, because they're starting now in Canada, they're starting to go up north. But whether it's Mexico or Canada, we're going to explain to them quickly that if you allow fentanyl and these drugs to come through your country, we're going to charge you large-scale tariffs on everything you send into the United States. And they're making a lot of money in the United States. They couldn't exist without us, so we're going to do that. And we're going to tell China that if you continue to send fentanyl to Mexico or any place else that comes into our country, we're going to charge you a 25% tariff on everything you sell into the United States of America. We're not going to we can't let them, and you've never heard that from anybody but me, and I've had it in my mind for a long time, but I didn't want to tell these guys about it because they'd only screw it up like they do everything else. But I say it now because now we have the election coming up in a matter of hours. And We're not going to let them destroy our country. Most of
There you have it, you guys. So Donald Trump posted that 16 hours ago, reminding about the tariffs doubling down. And then 2 hours ago, you can see we pay hundreds of billions of dollars to subsidize Canada. Why? And again, he had said that they should just become the 51st state of the U.S. with all of the ways that they rip off the United States. And he's saying, we're done with it. Now, as I mentioned, we're hearing that Canada has announced retaliatory tariffs on longtime allies, the United States. Let's take a look at this very quickly here. Canada slaps 25% tariffs on 155 billion of U.S. goods. Trudeau says 30 billion will take effect on Tuesday. Duties on remaining 125 billion in 21 days. Prime Minister vows to work with the provinces on non-tariff measures. You can see coming out yesterday, February the 1st, Canada will retaliate against President Donald Trump's new tariffs with 25% levies on a raft of U.S. imports, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said on Saturday, warning Americans that Trump's actions would have real consequences for them. As relations between the longtime allies who share the world's longest land border reach a new low, Trudeau told a news conference that he was slapping tariffs on 155 billion or 107 billion U.S. dollars worth of U.S. goods. Those on 30 billion will take effect on Tuesday, the same day as Trump's tariffs, and duties on the remaining 125 billion in 21 days, he said. Trudeau's announcement came just hours after Trump's order of 25% tariffs on Canadians and Mexican imports and 10% on goods from China, risking a trade war that economists say could slow global growth and reignite inflation. Trump said that he would impose 10% tariffs on all energy imports from Canada. The Canadian leader said tariffs would include American beer, wine, and bourbon, as well as fruits and fruit juice, including orange juice from Trump's home state of Florida. Canada would also target goods including clothes, sports equipment, and household appliances. Now, Trudeau said that the coming weeks would be difficult for Canadians, but that Americans would also suffer from Trump's actions. Tariffs against Canada will put your jobs at risk, potentially shutting down American auto assembly plants and other manufacturing facilities, Trudeau said, addressing U.S. citizens during a press conference in Ottawa. They will raise costs for you, including food at the grocery store and gas at the pump. Canada is considering non-tariff measures potentially relating to critical minerals, energy procurement, and other partnerships, Trudeau added. Now here you can see a chart. Canada's international merchandise trade with the U.S. in the last 4 years. Exports from Canada, imports for Canada. So you can see Canada is exporting a lot more than they are importing. Canada runs a trade surplus with the U.S., which President Donald Trump has criticized. So the 9,000-kilometer U.S.-Canada border handles over $2.5 billion in trade a day, especially in energy and manufacturing, according to the Canadian government data from 2023. Now, in 2023, Canada exports closed the $550 billion worth of goods and services to the U.S., or more than 3/4 of its total exports. Energy accounted for 30%, and manufacturing contributed to about 15% of exports south of the border. So Canada responding back, slapping tariffs on the United States, and we're hearing that there is going to be potentially some pain coming. The coming weeks will be difficult. This one coming out from ABC News. It says White House officials announced that President Donald Trump has imposed 25% tariffs on Mexico and Canada and 10% tariffs on goods from China. The tariffs, which will be implemented on February 4th, will be imposed via 3 separate executive orders that have been signed for each country, according to the White House officials. There will be at least 25% tariffs on all Mexican exports to the United States, as well as on all exports to the U.S. from Canada. However, Canadian energy products will be tariffed at a lower rate of 10%. There is a 10% tariff on all China exports to the U.S. Tariffs of this magnitude will likely increase prices paid by U.S. shoppers, since importers typically pass along their share of costs on those higher taxes to consumers, experts previously told ABC News. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum both responded Saturday evening to impose tariffs. Trudeau said that Canada will implement 25% tariffs on $155 billion worth of U.S. goods. This includes immediate tariffs on $30 billion worth of goods effective Tuesday, followed by further tariffs of $125 billion worth of American products in 21 days. Trudeau encouraged Canadians to read labels at the grocery store and choose Canadian rye over Kentucky bourbon, foregoing orange juice from Florida, and changing summer vacation plans to visit places within Canada. Sheinbaum said that she has instructed officials in her government to implement Plan B, which includes tariffs and non-tariff measures in defense of Mexico interests. So we are hearing that it has started. They are responding back. Things are going to be a little bit rough. Trump had warned Americans as well that tariffs, they may cause pain for a little bit. It says Trump warns Americans that tariffs may cause pain. Donald Trump has said that the Americans may feel the economic pain from the tariffs on key trading partners. Will there be some pain? Yes, maybe, and maybe not, Trump wrote on Sunday in all capital letters on his Truth social media platform, and that is what we read just 2 hours ago. A day after signing off on tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China. Excuse me, we just read moments ago, he wrote on Truth Social 2 hours ago. But we will make America great again, and it will be worth the price that must be paid, he added. But he is warning, be prepared for a little bit of pain here, and this comes as he has slapped tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China in the last 24 hours, and now we are seeing the responses. Now, let me know your thoughts on this. Do you support this? Are you glad that Donald Trump is going to do this? Do you think that he is going to come out victorious in this? Or do you think that there is going to be a lot of pain ahead, and maybe you're not thinking that this is such a good idea? Let me know your thoughts. If you support this, you support these moves by Donald Trump, you think that the United States is going to come out on top on this, put a 47. I also heard that Governor Greg Abbott said that Canada should not challenge the United States, that Texas alone has a greater economy than that of Canada. Now, I don't know. I haven't had a chance to look into that or not. But what I've heard is that that is what Governor Greg Abbott has responded with. And that if that is the case, I don't know that Justin Trudeau wants to mess around and find out with the United States. However, we will see. So if you support this, put a 47. If you think, no, this is not good, we don't want to go down this path, put no in the comments. 47 to support Trump, no, not to go down this path. Let me know your thoughts. Now, while you're putting 47 or no, I'm seeing a lot of those 47s pouring in. Don't forget to take a second and hit that like button for me, as this is the latest news coming out, and we are seeing just in the past couple of hours more updates coming out on Truth Social from Donald Trump on all of this, as we are hearing that essentially the trade wars, they have begun, and it is involving the United States against Canada and Mexico. So we're going to be seeing how expensive things might get. If there is going to be inflation, Donald Trump said maybe there's not going to be. He said during his presidency, when he started in 2016, he actually enforced tariffs, and it really didn't cause any inflation at all. So he said that he is speculating that this might not have some severe pain. Yet at the same time, he said there could be. He said there might be, there might not. So we're going to be seeing, though, looks like we're going to be finding out, because we are going down this path, it sounds like, as Donald Trump has slapped tariffs on Mexico, China, and Canada. And we saw Mexico and Canada are already responding. So let me go ahead and share with you the video footage so you can see the response from Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau here. Let's go ahead and take a look.
Today, the United States informed us they will be imposing 25% tariffs on Canadian exports to the United States and 10% on Canadian energy. A decision that, should they elect to proceed with, should take effect on Tuesday, February 4th. Cette décision met en péril une relation économique historique. Une relation qui a été la source de tellement de richesses, de prospérité et de possibilités des deux côtés de la frontière. Tonight, first, I want to speak directly to Americans, our closest friends and neighbors. This is a choice that, yes, will harm Canadians, but beyond that, it will have real consequences for you, the American people. As I have consistently said, tariffs against Canada will put your jobs at risk, potentially shutting down American auto assembly plants and other manufacturing facilities. They will raise costs for you including food at the grocery stores and gas at the pump. They will impede your access to an affordable supply of vital goods crucial for U.S. security, such as nickel, potash, uranium, steel, and aluminum. They will violate the free trade agreement that the President and I, along with our Mexican partner, negotiated and signed a few years ago. But it doesn't have to be this way. As President John F. Kennedy said many years ago, geography has made us neighbors, history has made us friends, economics has made us partners, and necessity has made us allies. That rang true for many decades prior to President Kennedy's time in office, and in the decades since. From the beaches of Normandy to the mountains of the Korean Peninsula, from the fields of Flanders to the streets of Kandahar, we have fought and died alongside you. During your darkest hours, during the Iranian hostage crisis, those 444 days we worked around the clock from our embassy to get your innocent compatriots home. During the summer of 2005, when Hurricane Katrina ravaged your great city of New Orleans, or mere weeks ago, when we sent water bombers to tackle the wildfires in California. During the day the world stood still, September 11th, 2001, when we provided refuge to stranded passengers and planes, we were always there, standing with you, grieving with you, the American people. Together, we've built the most successful economic, military, and security partnership the world has ever seen. A relationship that has been the envy of the world. Yes, we've had our differences in the past, but we've always found a way to get past them. As I've said before, if President Trump wants to usher in a new golden age for the United States, the better path is to partner with Canada, not to punish us. Canada has critical minerals, reliable and affordable energy, stable democratic institutions, shared values, and the natural resources you need. Canada has the ingredients necessary to build a booming and secure partnership for the North American economy, and we stand at the ready to work together. Let's take a moment to talk about our shared border. Our border is already safe and secure, but there's always more work to do. Less than 1% of fentanyl, less than 1% of illegal crossings into the United States come from Canada. But hearing concerns from both Canadians and Americans, including the American president himself, we're taking action. We launched a $1.3 billion border plan that is already showing results, because we too are devastated by the scourge that is fentanyl, a drug that has torn apart communities and caused so much pain and torment for countless families across Canada, just like in the United States. A drug that we too want to see wiped from the face of this earth. A drug whose traffickers must be punished. As neighbors, we must work collaboratively to fix this. Unfortunately, the actions taken today by the White House split us apart instead of bringing us together. Tonight, I am announcing Canada will be responding to the U.S. trade action with 25% tariffs against $155 billion worth of American goods. This will include immediate tariffs on $30 billion worth of goods as of Tuesday, followed by further tariffs on $125 billion worth of American products in 21 days' time to allow Canadian companies and supply chains to seek to find alternatives. Ce soir, j'annonce la réplique du Canada. Des tarifs douaniers de 25% sur 155 milliards de dollars de marchandises américaines. Dès mardi, 30 milliards de dollars de produits américains vont être touchés par ces tarifs et dans 21 jours, pour donner le temps aux compagnies canadiennes de trouver des options alternatives, ce sera le cas pour 125 milliards de dollars de marchandises de plus. Like the American tariffs, our response will also be far-reaching and include everyday items such as American beer, wine, and bourbon, fruits and fruit juices, including orange juice, along with vegetables, perfume, clothing, and shoes. It'll include major consumer products like household appliances, furniture, and sports equipment, and materials like lumber and plastics, along with much, much more. And as part of our response, we are considering, with the provinces and territories, several non-tariff measures, including some relating to critical minerals, energy, procurement, and other partnerships. We will stand strong for Canada. We will stand strong to ensure our countries continue to be the best neighbors in the world. With all that said, I also want to speak directly to Canadians in this moment. I'm sure many of you are anxious, but I want you to know we are all in this together. The Canadian government, Canadian businesses, Canadian organized labor, Canadian civil society, Canada's premiers, and tens of millions of Canadians from coast to coast to coast are aligned and united. This is Team Canada at its best. Plus tôt aujourd'hui, j'ai parlé avec les premiers ministres de toutes nos provinces et territoires. On est unis et solidaires. Ils ont tous appuyé notre approche. On est aussi alignés pour faire tomber les obstacles qui freinent le commerce entre nos provinces et territoires et rendre ça plus facile pour les consommateurs de choisir des produits de chez nous. Il y a quelques minutes, je me suis entretenu avec Mme Sheinbaum, la présidente du Mexique, notre autre partenaire nord-américain, qui a lui aussi été la cible de tarifs douaniers aujourd'hui. On s'est engagé à travailler ensemble pour y faire face. Il s'agit d'une menace qui vise l'ensemble du pays et ça m'a fait chaud au cœur de voir autant de nos leaders répondre à l'appel et s'engager pour qu'aucun Canadien ne soit laissé pour compte. Notre gouvernement va être là pour les Canadiens. On va être là pour vous. Mais en même temps, j'ai quelque chose à vous demander. Je vous demande d'être solidaires les uns des autres. Beaucoup d'entre nous vont être affectés par tout ça et vont vivre des moments difficiles. Je vous demande d'être là les uns pour les autres, d'être là pour vos amis, vos voisins et vos compatriotes. D'un océan à l'autre, les Canadiens sont très différents. On parle de différentes langues, on a de différentes croyances, on a de différentes opinions, de différentes idées. Et quand on reste unis, on puise notre force dans cette différence. And now is also the time to choose Canada. There are many ways for you to do your part. It might mean checking the labels at the supermarket and picking Canadian-made products. It might mean opting for Canadian rye over Kentucky bourbon, or foregoing Florida orange juice altogether. It might mean changing your summer vacation plans to stay here in Canada and explore the many national and provincial parks, historical sites, and tourist destinations our great country has to offer. C'est le temps de choisir des produits d'ici et d'appuyer des entreprises d'ici. D'appuyer nos producteurs agricoles, nos manufacturiers, nos travailleurs, nos entrepreneurs, nos artistes. It might mean doing all of these things or finding your own way to stand up for Canada. In this moment, we must pull together because we love this country. We pride ourselves on braving the cold during the long winter months. We don't like to beat our chests, but we're always out there, waving the maple leaf loudly and proudly to celebrate an Olympic gold medal. On a notre propre identité, notre propre histoire et nos propres valeurs. Les Canadiens sont accueillants, ouverts, novateurs, ambitieux. On préfère régler nos disputes avec diplomatie, mais on est prêt à se battre quand c'est nécessaire. Canada is home to bountiful resources, breathtaking beauty, and a proud people who've come from every corner of the globe to forge a nation with a unique identity worth embracing and celebrating. We don't pretend to be perfect, but Canada is the best country on earth. There's nowhere else that I and our 41 million strong family would rather be. And we will get through this challenge, just as we've done countless times before, together. Thank you. Merci. Vive le Canada.
All right, so we'll take 20 minutes of questions, 20 minutes de questions. One question, one follow-up, une question, un suivi. Merci.
Bonsoir, Monsieur le Premier ministre, Raymond Filion de TVA. Est-ce que vous avez parlé ou tenté de parler avec le président Trump aujourd'hui ou dans les derniers jours?
Ça fait depuis l'inauguration que j'essaie de...
All right, you guys. So they're speaking a whole lot of French, literally, and so I'm going to go ahead and switch it off. But that was his speech that he gave, and we are hearing today, it is coming out everywhere that, man, the trade wars have begun. The United States, Mexico, Canada, and you can expect that we might see a little bit of pain here. This is what we had heard from Donald Trump warning to Americans. As I shared with you, Trump warns Americans that tariffs may cause pain, and also in the coming weeks, it's going to be difficult. Mexico, Canada respond to Trump's tariffs, and what we just saw was Canada announce retaliatory tariffs on their longtime allies. But we just saw, just as early as 2 hours ago, Donald Trump has responded to all of this, and he is doubling down, saying, no, it's going to be worth it. We are going to come out on top on this. Canada is ripping us off to the tunes of billions of dollars every year. Why are we allowing this? And he said that Canada should become the 51st state of the United States. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you think that there's going to be a lot of pain coming, but it's going to be worth it? Do you think Canada is going to get destroyed? Do you think Canada is going to need to become the 51st state after all this is said and done? Let me know your thoughts, but excuse me, we're seeing that Justin Trudeau is coming out and he is hitting back, but you know, I really don't know. I saw, we took a look at the import-export charts, and it looks like there's a lot more imports than exports for Canada. So we're going to be seeing how they respond. And also, Greg Abbott, we saw, actually threw in a little X message as well. And he said, Canada better watch out because they're going to find out, because he said that Texas has a greater economy. Just the state of Texas alone has a greater economy than the entire nation of Canada. So he said Canada does not want to catch this heat, and that they need to go ahead and just give in and, you know, try to appease the requests of Donald Trump, because Canada is going to have a rough time if they're trying to start a trade war with the United States. But we will see. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, in addition to that, a lot of people mentioning, we actually saw Justin Trudeau step down and resign and say, I'm not going to be running again. So he's actually on his way out the door. So we're going to see what unfolds here. But you guys, I will keep you up to speed every step of the way, because what we're hearing is the trade wars have begun. As of yesterday, Donald Trump signed, approved, and enacted those executive orders that are now saying there's going to be 25% tariffs on Mexico, 25% tariffs on Canada, 10% tariffs on China. And now we're seeing Canada respond back. We're hearing Mexico's responding back, and we're going to be seeing what's going to unfold here. But Trump is saying, brace yourself, because yes, there might be a little bit of pain, warning the American people to get prepared that there could be some tariff inflation that might be on the way. He said, but he said, maybe not. He said, we will see, because he said that he actually had done significant tariffs in his first term, and he said there was pretty close to almost no inflation as a result of it. But we will see, because it's a much more aggressive tone, and we are seeing nations hit back this time. And so regardless, though, of whatever unfolds, I'll be sure to let you guys know here on the channel and keep you up to speed on everything. And I see Salt to Paul saying, Fafo, mess around, you're going to find out. We will see. It looks like we are going down this path. So if you appreciate the updates, though, again, do me a favor, hit that like button if you haven't done so yet. Subscribe to stay up to date. It's totally free. Why not? These articles are all linked in the description below. I cite all the sources, put it on the screen, read right from it, play for you the video footage so you can see it and know that this is the latest. And this has been coming out not even in the last 24 hours, maybe the last 12 hours. We've been seeing a lot of this start to unfold. So I'll keep you guys up to speed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.